Now, there's many ways to sell books back online, right? You can go to thrift stores, you can go to like Goodwills, scan them and figure out discrepancies in prices if you can get them super cheap, and then resell them back online. That's one way that people do it. I prefer, as always, to stay right in front of my laptop, source from my laptop, and then send them into Amazon or resell them back on other platforms like that. Now, with books specifically, you're mainly focused on reselling back on Amazon, and you can do that with software if you know where to look. Now, I'm going to run you through a tutorial today of eFlip. eFlip is a software that basically finds outlier books. So it's going to tell you all sorts of book data on Amazon. I forget how many they actually have, but it's millions and millions and millions of books on Amazon. So they have data on Amazon, and it also comes with software to find other outlier places where you can source these books online that aren't on Amazon that you can then resell back on Amazon for a profit. So I'm going to run you through how to use this software. There's many ways to make money reselling books back online, right? And there's many ways to use eFlip to resell books back online. I'm going to show you one way today, and then maybe I'll make more tutorials in the future because there's probably 4 or 5 ways that I use eFlip to actually resell books back online. Now, to show you how I actually keep track of this, because I'm all about like spreadsheets and tracking your numbers with online arbitrage, because if you're doing online arbitrage to any certain degree or any certain scale, right? What you want to do is you want to stay organized so you're sure that you're profitable, right? You want to prove the concept first, and then you want to scale it up once you prove the concept. But you can't prove the concept if you're buying, cashback products, if you're buying coupon products, if you're buying all sorts of other products, and then you're buying books as well, and they're all scaled up. It's just going to be a complete headache to manage it unless you know how to do it. So what I like to do is I like to order books. I haven't scaled this up to like thousands and thousands of dollars yet. I pretty much just started doing it the past month or two. And what I like to do is I like to buy books in batch, right? So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll buy like 5 to 10 books on a certain day if I can find them, and I have maybe an extra hour or so to sort through eFlip to do it. Now, you do need with eFlip to actually make like legitimate money, so we're talking about, as you can see here, I'm spending like $39, $15, $20. It's not like coupon arbitrage. It's nothing like that. You're actually going to need to spend some money to make some money, but you can make great profits if you have a little bit of money to spend, okay? So just wanted to outline that. So it's not like you're spending 10 cents or $1 on like a coupon product. You are going to have to spend some actual money to make that money in return. But as you can see here, you can profit pretty decently if you know what you're doing. So this is one of the ones that I did, I think like a week or 2 ago, and I sent them into FBA. So you can see here's this is how I basically set my spreadsheet up to make sure that I'm profitable. So I have the title of the book so I don't lose it. I have the actual Amazon link to it. I usually have like an N in here if it wasn't delivered, and then like I'll change this to like red. So I know, looking at my spreadsheet, okay, all these books have been delivered, this one hasn't. Now you can buy them, and you'll see here when we run through the eFlip tutorial, some of them you're buying on Amazon, and you can buy them with discrepancies. So if you buy like a used like new book, super, super cheap, and there's a discrepancy in price, you can then take that used like new book and ship it into Amazon to potentially win the buy box at a much higher price, as you can see here with the used like new. Now I've been testing that out lately, and I've seen that it works as well, although I haven't done that as much. The main way that I like to do it is I'll buy new books on other sites that I can use eFlip to find for cheaper prices. When I know that they're selling higher on Amazon, then I buy them from that site, I ship them into Amazon FBA, and boom, I get the buy box, or I share the buy box with other people, and I eventually win the sale when people buy it. Now, another thing to keep in mind, and I'm not going to get too into reselling books in this specific tutorial, I just want to give you the overview, and then I'll show you how to actually use the software so that you can go out after this video and start doing it yourself to make money with online arbitrage and flipping books, okay? But mainly speaking, the way that you're going to do this, you just want to make sure that you're organized, so you understand, okay, this is what you sold for, this is like your break-even, or this is what you purchased it for, this is your break-even price, and so you obviously want to sell it for more. Now, the majority of the work is done in the sourcing, and then a little bit of it's done. I usually like to wait all together, so if I buy these like 5 to 10 in a batch, I'll ship them all in the same box, or maybe like 2 or 3 shipments, depending on how Amazon breaks them apart in my actual shipment when I'm shipping them into FBA. But the majority of the time, I'm going to send them them all into FBA at once, so it's super cheap for me to ship a book into FBA, so I don't even account for that fee, okay? I also, as you see here, when I calculate my profit, I don't account for the Amazon fees, so obviously you're going to have some FBA fees in there, you're going to have some Amazon referral fees, which is just the fee for selling on Amazon, so I don't factor that in. I'm just making sure that I'm profitable, but like I said, the majority of the work is done in the product research ahead of time to make sure that your book is profitable. So here's an example of a batch that I bought, like I said, about a week and a half ago or something like that, and had them shipped into FBA. So I purchased this book right here for $39.16. I sold it for $309 a few days ago, and my profit on that was $270.83. Okay, so that's just one book. It was a textbook. Like I said too, I completely forgot to say this. You are going to want to keep in mind that there are certain textbook seasons. So you have like fall semester, right? You have spring semester, and then you have like summer semester. So there's mainly 3, maybe 4. I think I've heard people say 4, but I only know of 3 specifically. You have fall, spring, and summer semesters, where people are, for a certain period of time buying more textbooks in bulk. So you can play off that and strictly use eFlip or any software like it to buy books ahead of time and then ship them into FBA for those certain periods of time and make a lot of money doing it. Now, we're passing up the beginning of fall semester, so I think into October is about the end, like end of September. End of October is like the end of fall semester, like book season. So we're approaching the end right now, but that doesn't mean the good thing about that is now you can find cheaper prices. And if you ship them in ahead of time, you're going to make sales for Q4, right? Obviously, because everything goes up in Q4 with e-commerce and there's a lot more sales on Amazon. Plus you can have your inventory in there for January and February for the spring semester people when they're about to buy their books and their textbooks. So it's a great time to buy these books now and learn how to use this software. So just give you a couple of other ones before we jump into the software. I bought this one for $15.64, this one for $20.13, and they haven't sold yet, but they're in FBA. Same thing with this one. I bought this used like new book for 99 cents, shipped it into FBA. I think the buy box price was like $19 for this. So I'm like sharing the buy box right now with like a used, I believe it's like another used like new and a few news that are a little bit higher. So I'm not going to get too much into that specific aspect today. I'm going to show you how to source new books on other websites to then resell. But this is just an example, like I said, right here too. Bought this one for $31.10. I sold it back on Amazon for $79.15, and the profit margin, not counting the seller fees and not counting the shipping, which might have been like 50 cents to ship this book in, right? And the seller fees might have been like $5 to $10. I don't know. I didn't check. But I'm obviously profitable, okay? And I make sure that I'm profitable before I ever buy the book. Now, can the book tank in price? Yeah, but typically they don't tank in price, and they actually go up in price during textbook season, and they actually go up in price in Q4 as well. And really, if you're going to do the product research ahead of time, you're going to know going in full-heartedly that it's going to sell, right? So just like anything, you want to do that product research. Now, how do I go out and find these books? Now, you can sort just through textbooks. One of the other ways I like to do it is I'll go up to no limit right here, and I'll set everything like this, and the minimum price is of 1 cent, and I'll just do a quick search. I do this every once in a while to see if there's any 1 cent books. As you see here, a cent for this book, so I'm paying a cent for this book to my door. So chances are that's profitable. Now this has $3.99 shipping, but often you'll find ones that don't have $3.99 shipping and are literally just a cent in Amazon Prime. The seller probably just matched the buy box price at a cent, and you can get it for a cent to your door. And I've done that, I don't know, 20 to 30 times now, and literally bought 20 to 30 books for a cent a piece. And clearly that's a profitable book, as assuming that you can ship it cheaply, or you can send it into FBA, or you're selling it higher than the fees are, right? So little caveat there. But there's many ways to actually find out how to use this software. So what I like to do, right, is I'm just going to play around with the numbers, and that's pretty much all I've done. I'm going to take, because I want to make sure that the book is still relevant, I'm going to take this all the way up to maybe 2014 as the latest published date, 2014, right? Now the max rank I'm going to set down to we'll go 1 million. Because in books, 1 million, usually I say stay below 100,000 if you don't have any software to figure out how much they're selling. But books sell a lot more on Amazon, so you can get away with selling a book that's all the way up to 1 million. Obviously, still the lower bestseller rank, the better, okay? Now, we're not going to get into eScore or anything like that today. We're just going to focus on bestseller rank, okay? So I'm not focused on any of these. I'm going to say max trade-in value, because that's going to indicate that there's still a value in that book. So it's just an indicator that if it's a textbook, for example, right, that a newer version of that textbook, isn't probably out yet, and even if it is, that some people still use the old one because there's trade-in value. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, drop a question down below and I'd love to answer it for you. I'm not focused on either of these. I'm going to focus on the max use price right here though. So max use price, we're going to raise this up to 4. Max new price will go to like 80. And max Amazon price, we're going to go to like 50. And I just like to play around with these right here. And you can also have Amazon Smile clicked if you want to just donate all your purchases. Although the specific thing that I'm going to show you right now is you're not buying these on Amazon. So let me show you some data, show you how it works, and show you how I source books. And then you can go out, use this software, play around with these numbers, and play around with these little gauges, and you'll start to understand them more the more you do it. And you can make money pretty easily with this software, although you do need to wait a little bit because you need to wait for the book to come, but you're not buying them from Amazon, so you're not going to get 2-day shipping. So sometimes books come in like 3 days, sometimes they come in like 10 days, right? It just depends. So you do need to wait a little bit. You're going to need to front some money. You're going to need to wait a little bit, but then once you ship them into FBA, you can make a really, really, really great profit margin if you can afford to wait maybe like 2 weeks and front like $20, potentially per book. So the first thing I like to do, right, is I'm going to go through, and there's many different things and ways to use this. You can obviously look at the keepographs. You can go through and calculate your listing price to see if you're profitable, and it's going to show you an estimation of your profit potential. But what I like to do is I'm going to look at what the new price is because I'm interested right now in buying new books from other websites, not Amazon, shipping them into FBA and winning the buy box, right? So I'm interested in the new price. So I don't care about the used price right now. I'm interested in the new price. This one says $189.22. It's probably a textbook, clearly, which it is, whereas a number of the ones that I bought right here, the one that I made $270.83 off of was a textbook, and I sold it for $309. So this looks like it's promising, but let's see what we can source it through. So I'm going to click the link right here. And that's going to take me to the Amazon listing so I can make sure that it is indeed actually selling for, if we go to the buy new, okay, it is. It's selling for $201. The buy box is at $201.03, okay? And this is a little bit more, I'm not going to get too into like the used part of the buy box, which sometimes you'll see like there's a used part of the buy box as well for books. That's going to be a completely different lecture, a completely different video. So I don't want to throw you guys in too many directions. I want to focus on one main way to make money with this, and then maybe I'll make another tutorial in the future, okay? So I'm interested in winning the buy new buy box, which if people are going to buy this new for their class, right, they're going to pay $201.03. Another thing to keep in mind is you'll notice the discrepancy is like some of these are gray and some of these are still green. That's an indicator. If it's gray, that means you've already clicked it and checked it out. If it's green, it means you haven't checked it out or clicked that actual link yet. So it's a good way that eFlip uses to basically make sure that you're not continuously wasting your time clicking links that you've already clicked, okay? Just a little caveat. I actually really, really like this software. So it is selling for $201.03. That's a good indicator, but can we make money off of it? None of it matters if we can't get it cheap enough to make money, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this little drop-down arrow, and I'm going to go to Book Finder. And that's basically the software that's integrated into eFlip that's going to tell me all sorts of places that I can get this both new and used online to find books to then resell back on Amazon for a profit, right? You see in the right column, used books. So I'm not, for this specific example, we're only focused on buying new books that we can ship into FBA to win the buy box at new, right? So we know that the buy box is $201.03, right? Now I'm going to potentially buy this, so I can make money potentially buying this for $119.65. Oh, wait, look, somebody on eBay is literally selling this for $63.24. So let me click this and see if it's actually $63.24 on eBay. Oh, wow, it's $55. It probably is shipping, so it probably ends up being about $63.24 or whatever. So, boom, score. This is a great opportunity right here. See, yeah, it is. So it's going to end up being $59.83. With the $483 economy shipping, which means it should come to me by September 20th, and right now it's the 19th of September. So 7 days, about a week till I get it, and then it's maybe like 9 or 10 days till it's into FBA if I ship it in right away. So this is a great opportunity, right? I'm going to buy this, and for like $59.83, so I'm going to potentially resell it for $201.03 if I win the buy box. Let's see if I can make a profit on this, which I already know I can, right? So the product cost was $59.83. Whoa. $59.83. The shipping cost into Amazon, if I ship it in with a bunch of other books, and like I said, I never buy one-off books, but you can, even if you're shipping it into Amazon for $5, still going to make a ridiculous profit on this book specifically. But I'm going to say like 50 cents because I usually ship it in like a box of like 5 to 10 books overall, so it's always super cheap for me to do that. So what is it? What is my actual profit margin then, right? And if I sell this, whoa, hold on, 50 cents, and the product price is not $16.45 because we're going to ship it in and win the buy box as new. So the product price is $201.03. So then what's my profit? My potential profit is $103.06 just buying this one book, shipping it back into FBA, and letting it sit there until it sells as new. And I'm just going to continually, and my software is set up to continually match the buy box for my FBA prices. So eventually it'll sell, even if it drops to $100, which it won't, but let's just assume for the sticklers out there, 101, I'm still making $18.06 on this. So right now, if I sell it for 201, textbook season and Q4 is coming up, in a few months, and Q4 is obviously right now. So I'm gonna assume that I'm probably gonna make a good $100 on this book. Now I do need to wait a week to get it and ship it into FBA, right? I do need to front the $59.83. So if you're a little bit tight on money or you don't have any funds to basically scale up and buy a bunch of books, this business model might not be the best for you, but if you do have, $100 or a couple $100, you can buy cheaper books. There's a lot of books on here that you can buy for like $10, ship them in and sell them for like $80, right? So you just need to do a little bit more research and figure out books that are better for your price range and what you have. Now, I'm not too worried about that, but this is what I do. This is a great book. I'm actually going to buy this as soon as this is done. This is a great example of a book that I'm literally using eFlip to use their software, which is then becomes bookfinder.com, buy it on eBay. So it literally found the item for me on eBay, brand new college mathematics with early integers, boom. And there we go, $100. It took me 5 minutes, if that, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It was literally the first book I checked right here. So, and now imagine if you continue to scroll down. Let me do one more really fast. So let's try, let me move this over here so I don't get lost because I'm literally going to buy this after this lecture's over. So right here, let's see, 244, I'll do one more with you. 244.45, Introduction to Management and Science. And remember too that often, there's no picture here, but that doesn't necessarily matter if it's still selling well, which it is, 89. Let's see what this one was selling for. Forgot to check that. I got too excited. 304, so 302,000 in books is still pretty solid. So let's see, Jungle Scout, I'm probably not logged in. Oh, I am. So 6 sales a day, 215 a month, still at 302,000 in books. Pretty solid book. I'm going to sell it eventually. And there's only 6 new people selling this, so I'm eventually going to sell this, especially during textbook season in January and February, but definitely probably before that in Q4. I would assume this is probably going to sell in maybe like a couple weeks to a month. And then obviously if I have to, I'll wait till textbook season. No big deal. I'm going to eventually profit. So let's, like I said, go through one more. Introduction to Management and Science usually sells, it looks like a textbook, for $244. And you can check all these too. They might be good. But another thing to keep in mind is even if this sells for $244, sometimes, and not often, but every once in a while, I'll check Bookfinder, and there won't be a profit to be made. Maybe you're buying it for like $200, or maybe you're buying it for like $230, and then it doesn't make sense to buy it, ship it into FBA, because then you're going to lose money by what you purchased, the fees, and then shipping it into FBA, the fees to sell on Amazon, right? So it doesn't always work out that easily, but quite often it actually does. So let me see what the buy box price for this one is. I don't know why I X'd out of it already. Buy box price to buy this new, and there's only 4 people on the listing to buy it new, is $245.32. So let's check Bookfinder to see if we can actually source this profitably. And we can. Look, boom. There's a lot of ones. I'm going to actually buy all of these. Look, I can buy all of these brand new ones. So this is an example of one right here. So some of these are like Australia, and some of these, it looks like they're all United States, but this one's India. So every once in a while, they will ship from other countries. You need to keep that in mind because then it might take, 2 weeks to get to you. But just keep that in mind. All these ship from the US. I can buy $20, $20, $20, $21, $21. Now let me check this and make sure that it is, but I bought from this Abe Books countless times, and I bought from Biblio as well. I don't think I've ever bought from Velour yet. And look, boom, brand new. I can source, it looks like they have 2 of these, so I can source 2 of these for $20.06, and they're brand new. It ships from Delaware, and I'm really close to Delaware, so I'll probably get this within a week, probably even faster. So I'm going to buy this for $20.06, and I can resell it back on Amazon for $245.32 freaking cents. So what's my profit margin, right? It was $20.32, I think. where am I at? 2006, excuse me. Was that free shipping? Yeah, it is. So 2006, to ship it into FBA, because I'm going to buy a bunch of them, I'm going to even say like 10 cents, because I'm probably going to buy maybe 10 of these, and just ship them into FBA and just wait on them, and eventually I'll profit a ridiculous amount. So let's say I ship it in for 10 cents, or let's even say like 30 cents. And I'm going to ship all 10 of them in, probably with other books. There's like 20 right there on the ledge behind me that I'm waiting on another shipment for. I'll probably ship them all in and maybe like 1 or 2 boxes to FBA. So it'll end up being super, super cheap. And let's see, the product price is $245.32. It might go up a little bit. It might go down a little bit. But even still, my profit is $180.66. I'm not making this up, guys. You can hop on eFlip right now. I think there's a 30-day free trial. I don't remember if it was 30 days or 10 days, but you can hop on. There's a trial. Test it out for yourself. There's a ridiculous amount of books out there, and you can use this software to find discrepancies in prices on book sites like Abe's Books, or Biblio, or Velour, or even eBay quite often, and find discrepancies in prices, source them super cheap, ship them into FBA, and make a ridiculous markup in profit. So, I've really been into this lately. Obviously, I love all forms of arbitrage, but I sourced a couple books, tested it out, saw that it actually worked, and this is like my 3rd time going through this, so I think this is my 2nd one right here. I have another one that's like 8 deep. So I've been seeing that actually these sell, and they sell for it fairly quickly, and you can make a pretty good profit on all of these books. Now, they might not all sell very fast. Some of them might sell quickly, some of them might not, and you might want to check the bestseller rank to see, how quickly you can estimate that they will sell. Also, keep in mind that you want to focus on textbook seasons if you can. I'm not too worried about that right now because the margins are super high in the books that I'm buying, and it's Q4, so I'm expecting them all to sell fairly quickly. But even if it takes like a month or two, I'm still going to make a ridiculous return on my money in a month or two. You're not going to find returns like that anywhere else. So I'm going to buy these books. I'm probably going to buy like 10 of these right here because they're super cheap for like 20 bucks. Hop on eFlip, guys. So I hope you guys like this video. Remember, if you want to learn how to source profitable books, in depth with eFlip and basically do what I do online, and not just sourcing books, but cashback arbitrage, liquidation arbitrage, right? Coupon arbitrage, wholesale arbitrage, all the other forms of arbitrage. First link in the description for 50% off Online Arbitrage Pro, and then you too can start scaling this up and making thousands of dollars every single month by flipping products. In this particular case, it's books, but you can flip all sorts of products back online for a profit. So, only 2 people get into that. Like I said, there's only 2 coupon codes available. First 2 people to claim them, obviously you get in the course 50% off. So, with that being said, I really hope that you hit that like button. I genuinely appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.